So today's meeting is going to be over our marketing section in InsuredMine. So let me go ahead and share our TWFG marketing account. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So from the marketing section, which you can find on the left-hand panel under engagement, this is what the screen that you will come to. So we have different options on here. Let me see if I can grab a pencil. We have email campaigns and bulk text, or we also have our automation. So the difference between the two is email campaigns and bulk text. You will create a list of who you want to send it to for either one of these, either email campaigns or bulk text. You create the list of who you want to send it to, and then you will select the date or time that you want to send it out. The difference between email campaign and bulk text and automation is that automation is going to be running in the background for you. So it'll run based off of a trigger in your account. Let me see what I can do about the screen size because we've had that issue before. Let's see. Is that better? Okay. Yes, Curtis, thank you for asking that. So I'll go over that towards the end. First, I want to go over the different types of automations that we have, or the different marketing options in here. So email campaigns, bulk text, these again, like I had mentioned, are based off of a list that you create of who you want to send these campaigns to. And then you select the date or time to send either one of these. Automations are going to be a trigger in the background that set it off, such as a renewal that's upcoming in 90 days, for example, or a birthday. And so the system will read that trigger and begin the automation. So for any of these campaigns or automations, either of these campaigns or automations, you do have to create a template of what you want to send out. In TWFG, they have created the templates for you with their marketing team. So you can find those templates here in the template portion. When you click on templates, give me one moment to pull it up. I don't have patience, so let me just refresh it here. Okay, perfect. So when you pull up your templates here, you'll see the different options that TWFG has loaded into your accounts. If you're looking for renewal templates, which is what we want you to get started on after our meeting or as soon as you can, you'll look in the April folder. So TWFG has released all of these to you in April. So if we click on the April folder, you should be able to see a renewal process and their approved renewal templates that you can use. So here you can see different cross-selling templates. If you click on the template itself, you can kind of have a pop-up here of what you can view. If you click on the three dots to the right of any template, you have different options. You can either edit the template, you can choose to send it to yourself or send it to other agents. You can share it with other agents on your team. You can move it to a different folder if you want to create your folders or separate it in a different way. You can copy the template if you want. For example, if you like this template here, you just want to use it for something else, but you don't want to lose this template in the system, you can copy it and work off of the copied template, make any changes to that one so that you can still have both. And then you can delete the templates. You can filter by the template type that you have here. So we have email templates or text message templates or the date created. And if you click on add template, here you can add more templates in the system. So if you want to add a text messaging template, the option would be that you would choose would be text editor. This is going to be a standard email template. here, just like you were sending it from your own inbox, or you can switch it over to create a text template. For either one of these options, you have the options to use tags to personalize it for the person that it's going out to. How can you identify which templates were created by TWFG marketing versus InsuredMine in the system? So I believe all of them are approved. All the ones that you have here are going to be approved, or in your account are going to be approved by TWFG marketing team. So Curtis, how do you remove the TWFG templates? As I mentioned here, you can click on the 3 dots and you can delete any template from your account. If you want to do it in bulk, you can also click on the templates and you can select delete. If you want to delete a whole folder, you can click on the 3 dots and delete the folder. When you're adding a template, you can also create your template similar to the drag and drop, or similar to the TWFG templates that they have created for you using the drag and drop builder. These are going to be email templates only. You can go in here, add images, add videos, social media links, anything you would like. There's different modules that you can select from that you can drag onto your email body. You can click on the 3 dots to see the actions here. You can delete certain sections if you don't want to have that much body to your emails, or if you don't need a button, you can delete them here or delete the whole section. Anything that you create, so for example, if I add an image here, let me see what image I have that I can add. Let's say I added this one here for Memorial Day. If I want to save this image, I can add a hyperlink to this image. So if they click on an image, it can take them to a specific site. And if I want to save what I've created, I can click on the 3 dots and click on save right here. And that should say save as module. So when you're saving as a module, you can give the module a name, scroll down and save it at the bottom. That way, if you're ever creating a template in the future, that's going to be saved for you here in the module. So you can just click and drag whatever you want onto the template. So here you see that TWFG has some saved. So for example, I can use this one as a header, so I can click and drag onto my template. After the template looks how you'd like it, you can save it. Anywhere you see template name, that is not client facing. That's just how you will remember it in your saved templates that you have in the InsuredMine platform. The email subject line, of course, is going to be client facing. So that's what the subject line will be received as whenever you send the email out. Are there comparable InsuredMine templates to use instead? Unfortunately, they wouldn't be approved by TWFG. We do have some in the system that you can use as a guide. But TWFG, I do believe, would like you to use their templates. So if you understand these templates correctly, there's a link that's supposed to go to your website or your Google review site. We'll need to replace what's in the template with the correct link. That's a wonderful thing to bring up. So yes, and so for example, Google reviews templates right here. If we click on the 3 dots, we can edit this template. And it'll bring you to a drag and drop builder template. You can click on the Google review button down here. And right here it has the link. You can replace the link.
Sorry, yes. Can you do it more slower, please?
Yes.
Slow? Yes.
You do that.
Thank you.
So if you, for example, in email templates, these are the templates that TWFG has provided for you. So the Google reviews template, once it loads, let me pull it back up. Let's see. So let's scroll down to the Google review template again. So here I've selected a Google review template that TWFG has created. So if I click on it, I get the quick view of it. To edit it, I go to the three dots on the right-hand side and I click on edit. That's a wonderful question. Can we edit the TWFG templates in your InsuredMine, or do you need to copy it first? So I believe they're already copied into your account, so you can make the edits to them. Correct, Montserrat?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't need to copy them first. You can edit them directly on here and they'll be saved into your folder. So from this template right here that TWFG has left you for a Google review, you can click on the Google review button that they have down here for you. Once you click on any section on here, you'll notice that you have a left-hand panel come up that's specific to that section. For a text box, it'll give you the text color, alignment, you can change any of that information. For the image, you can change the image, or you can add a hyperlink to the image if you want them to go there. For the button for Google reviews, you would, of course, want to put the link for your company's Google review on that button. So when you click near the button or around the bottom button in the same box, a panel will appear to edit this button. So you can paste your link there. You can change it to where it says leave a Google review if you'd like. Make any changes here, and then you would just save your template. Can we add a Facebook button? So that's a wonderful question. So you can. So for example, if I wanted social media here and blocks, you'll notice that social is an option. So I can click and drag social and place it wherever I want on here. And you'll notice that these social media options appear. So again, I found those under blocks. And you can select the different options that we have here. Social media will get you social media here. So if I click on this area on the left-hand panel, it changes to different social media. Let's say I don't have Twitter, I don't have Instagram, I don't have YouTube, I just have Facebook. You can add your Facebook link right here to be available. I can align it to the left if I wanted to. If I want it under my signature, I can align it to the right. I can also add different social medias. If I click on the plus sign, I can select any other social media that I'd like or that I might have. So LinkedIn, I can add LinkedIn. And if I wanted to add maybe a hyperlink to my website, I can also add that. If I don't like these circles, I can also change them. So instead of circle colored logos, I can have regular colored logos, or I can make them black or gray, even if I have it on a darker background for them to be more noticeable. So again, with the templates that TWFG has created for you, they're going to be here saved into your account under email templates. I would just review any of the templates that are in there, make sure that they look correct. Anywhere that you think there may be a hyperlink that's missing, go in there and add the hyperlink by clicking on the three dots to edit the template and then inserting those links in the correct section. So that's all I have for templates right now. Are there any questions left on the templates portion itself? So this training is going to be recorded. So if anybody is wanting this to review this video afterwards too, you can always rewatch the training video. Okay, since we're done with questions, let's go to automation next. Montserrat, do you know if there's any slides that we might have on the engagement portion?
Yes, we do. So let me let me show you here the TWFG resources. So here in this link, also Victoria, if you can open, I send it here in the chat. All of you are going to be able to see all the webinars and all the trainings that we have been doing and the TWFG guides, the certification training, and the presentation that we have.
Okay, perfect. So after you've created a template, of course, I had mentioned that the templates are what's required for any of these options here that we have in our engagement to go out to your customers or your clients, your prospects, whoever. So email campaigns, bulk text message, you can have a template. You also need to create a list of who you want to send it to. So we'll go over email campaigns and bulk text first. In email campaigns and bulk text, so you would use these since you select who you want to send it to and when you want to send it to. These are good for monthly newsletters. They are also really great for holiday templates and campaigns that you want to send out, or if you're having a closure or an office party, anything like that, you would create an email campaign or a bulk text. You do have to select a list or create a list of who you want to send it out to. So let's walk through that really quick. When you create a list, we'll click on list. This page comes up right here. You would first select the list source, and we'll go in order here. So select a list source. You can send it to your contacts or your accounts. For commercial lines, accounts would be preferred. For personal lines, contacts, or if you work with both personal and commercial, I would recommend to use contacts for your lists. You would then select if you want to send it to all active prospect, other leads, and inactive contacts, you would select all. If you want to just send it to your active contacts, for example, if you want to advise them of an office closure, you would select active. Then you can choose whether or not you include secondary contacts. So there is a primary contact in each household. This will only create it to go out to primary contacts. You can also select to include secondary contacts if you want. Once you've got these three options, or once you've reviewed who you want to send it to, or whether you want to send it to contacts, accounts, you can also, or the client type or status, and then whether or not you want to send it to secondary contacts, you would hit apply, and it'll create your list for you. So here you can see how many have their email and how many in this list have their phone number. Thank you, Lindsay. I'll go back to the text message templates here in one moment. So once you create your list or select your list right here of people, you can also add filters. You can add filters by any of these options that you see here. One of the most popular ones is going to be by tags. So tags are going to be a demographic that you can add onto your contacts in the platform. So for example, if I wanted to add a tag to only send out to teachers, I can add that teacher tag and hit apply. Since right here in this TWFG marketing account, there's not any contacts with the tag that says teacher on it, but if there were, only those contacts would appear here on this list. Account without contacts is that like a commercial account where we forgot to add a contact name? So it may be, or it could be a household too, where it was just added as an account and the contact was never added. Another option for creating a list, let's say you don't have anybody that you want to send out a campaign to in your InsuredMine platform or in Evo. If you want to add a file upload, you can also import a file of contacts that you want to send something to, and you can send them a campaign based on that file. So once you've created a list, let's go ahead and apply this so that we have, let me take this picture off. So let's go ahead and hit apply. Let's see if it works. So contacts, all active contacts. Once I have the list how I want it, I've added my filters and I've selected who I want to send it to, I can save this audience list. I can give the name, the audience list a title. So I like to save it typically as exactly the filters I have at the top. So if these are all my active contacts, I can say active contacts. And then it's going to ask you for a list type. So static is going to be everybody that's on this list right now. Their emails, their phone numbers, the people will never change. Live, however, will update as your list updates. So if you update their email address or their phone number in the system, this list will also update. Once you've saved it, you can then go up to the top to your list library. And you can see here are my active contacts. It is a live list. It'll show you the last day was updated, and you can click on the refresh button if you ever want to update that list again. If you click on the three dots, you can edit the list name. You can assign everybody in that list a single contact drip. You can download the list if you want to review it or save it to your desktop for any reason, or you can also delete it. So you can upload a list to send it out to without uploading them into the system. So this won't create a contact for them in the platform. So do we have an Excel file with specific info needed? We do. So whenever you're clicking on lists and you want to do the file upload, if you click on import file, right here at the bottom, it's going to have an Excel file or a CSV file that you can use as a reference. And that will show you all the different categories. I'm not sure if it'll share here, but it'll show you all the different categories that you can use when sending that out. So single contact drip, it's a different area here in the platform. So it's another marketing option that you can use. This one you have to assign to contacts individually. So it's not going to be where you can assign them to an entire on a specific date, or to, you can't send it out on a specific date or to a specific list of people. You would have to individually attach single contact drips to the contacts. But you can build them out the same way you do email campaigns or automations in stages. So let me go over that really quick.
Yes, and so the single contact drips also it's linked with your contacts, so you can create contacts automations, like what happened when you add a tag. So let's say that you add a tag that it's auto policy. So when you add a tag in auto policy for a contact, the single contact drip that you created, it's going to trigger based on that tag. That could be one. And also the second contact automation, it's the dispositions that you have or when you add a contact. So Victoria is going to show you how to do the single contact drip and also an overview of the contact automation.
Yes. And so for single contact drip, you can click on single contact drip and then you can create different workflows or different single contact drips, different single contact strips with a sequence of stages. So those stages can be anything from an email, a task to go to the agent, an email notification to the agent, or in this case, you can also do voicemail drops if you have that attached to go out to the contact or text message. So you would have to select the amount of stages that you want, when you want to send it out, if you want to send it immediately after they were assigned the single contact drip or after a certain amount of days, the contact type that you want, the time that you want it to go out, the email that you want it to go out from. You would also select the template that you have for it in the system. In this case, let's select a random one. So let's go with what is, oh no, let's go with, let's go with teen driver, for example. So once I've selected the email or the stages, the amount of stages, and have all the templates for emails, text messages that I want to go out, tasks, maybe that I want to assign to the agent. Once I've created all this, I can title the contact drip lane. In this case, let's go ahead and write teen driver. Let's delete the second stage. So once I've filled all this information out here, I can then save this single contact drip in the system. Having this saved in the system, I can go pull up a contact that I know has a teen driver. So let's use this one for now. I can go to communications and attach the single contact drip to it. So I would go to single contact drip under communications in the contact, hit assign, and I know they have a teen driver, so I can assign them the strip. In the engagement portion here, under email campaigns, I can look at my list again. Under lists, I can look at my list library. In my active contacts, let's say I had one for households with teens. And so I had added a tag because a tag is a demographic to the contact. I have it for households with teens. I can assign a single drip to that list of people. So I can click assign single drip, and I can choose to send out the teen driver email that I created to that list. So with email and campaigns, one thing that you do have to worry about is going to be, well, let's look at it first. So email campaigns, so we created the list. We have the templates. Those are everything you need to create any of these automation options or marketing options here. Email campaigns, bulk text, automation, or single contact drip. In email campaigns, you're going to build out your campaign very similar to the single contact drip. So here, let's go ahead and create. We'll create an email campaign. Akram, that's correct. Everybody in the list would be assigned the single drip. But you can also do a campaign, which would be more simple than that too. So the campaign, if you have the filter, you can create the list and create the email campaign. If you want to send it out immediately or on a specific date and time, you would use the campaigns here. So date and time, I can select, maybe I want to send everybody, let's say I created something for teen drivers and I want to send it out after they graduate high school or whenever. So graduation months typically are May. So if I want to schedule this to go out in June, I can, yes.
Let me add something, Akram. So the single contact drip, it's not triggered based on a list. The single contact drip is triggered based on the contact automation and the pipeline. You can assign the single contact drip only for a specific contact that you have by tag or in your pipeline. So the single contact drip could not be triggered by a list that you create for your email campaign. The list, it's only exclusive for email campaigns. Sorry, Victoria.
No, that's fine. Thank you. So it would be much easier to create the list and then again, select the date and time that you want to send this out here. So if I'm creating an email campaign against email campaigns, you select the date and time that you want to send it and you select who you want to send it for. So you can add a list here. We created the active contacts list. You select the list of who you want to send it to, and you would also select the template of what you want to send out. Let's look at holidays for now. So for now, we'll use Merry Christmas, but let's use 4th of July. We'll use the 4th of July one. So if I wanted to send this email out on the 4th of July, I would send it to all my active contacts to inform them that office is closed on 4th of July. And for the date and time, I would select, maybe I want to send it before July 4th, and so I can send it on Friday the 30th, June 30th. I would select what time I want to send it at also, so not 12 a.m., but maybe 10 a.m., and I can set that time. So June 30th at 10 a.m., I'll inform everybody that our office will be closed on the 4th of July. Then I select who I want to send it from. If I want to view it beforehand, I can click the Send to Myself button. It will come from InsuredMine, an InsuredMine email address, just to send to you because we are sending it to you from our platform. I can add an unsubscribe link, which is required for email campaigns. And since this one right here doesn't have my own personal signature, I may select to add a signature. So once you have your signature, and you should have your signatures saved in your own InsuredMine portal, you would be able to click on the drop down and select your signature to send it. Again, I can add more stages, but the email campaigns are going to be only emails because it is email campaigns. I can also choose to send the second email on a specific date and time, or I can send it 2 days after the first email was sent on a specific time. Stage 2 will ask you who you want to send it to. So I can send it to everybody that I sent it to on stage 1, because on stage 1, you select the list that you created. But on stage 2 and any other stage following, you can choose to send it to everybody in stage 1 who have received it, who have opened it, who have clicked it, received not opened it, received not clicked, or opened or not clicked. Or I can just select to send it to everybody again. After I've got the email campaigns exactly built out how I want it, you can start it at the top and you can hit send to send it out. You do need to title your campaign too. So this one can be 4th of July email, for example. And let's go ahead and save this as a draft. So in email campaigns, it'll take us back to this screen. To create a campaign, you click on create. To review the email campaigns that you've already made, you click on email campaigns. And you can see any that were previously sent, and you can also toggle over to view your drafts. From the drafts, I can click on the 3 dots, I can delete it, or I can click on the name and finish editing what I've started creating. Once I've got it how I want it, I can click on the send button, or I can also update the draft. So in the 4th of July example, why not set an automation so it goes out every year? Same for other national holidays. So you would have to set it with an email campaign. So we don't have automations based on a particular date. It has to be a trigger on the contact's information. So it's not going to be a trigger based on a date. Every contact would have to fetch that trigger. So email campaigns and bulk text would be used for holidays or specific dates that you want to send things out. So in email campaigns, if we're reviewing this campaign that we've sent out before for a training session, for example, we can see that there's 3 stages in this campaign. You can review the 3 stages here and 3 different emails that we sent out, the amount of recipients, the percentage that was sent out, how many people have opened it, clicked on it, how many have bounced, and how many were not sent. When we click on a particular email, it'll take us to a different page here. So this first email, 606 people opened it. I can click on it to see the 606 who have opened it. 50 have clicked on a link there. It'll show you the exact link or URL that they clicked on. 12 have bounced. It'll give you the bounce reason or the bounce type here. So invalid address, for example, or error dialing. It'll give you the email here or the reason here. You can see exactly who has clicked unsubscribed, which ones were complaint or marked as spam, and which ones were not sent, and it'll tell you why it was not sent. So wrong email or bounce, for example, or they hit unsubscribe previously. So not in this one, but they've previously hit unsubscribe. So it is very important to review your bounce rate and make sure that it stays low in the system. Here you'll see that the bounce rate is at 0.35%. It's important not to go over the 5% mark in the platform, otherwise your campaign will be stopped. So we want to make sure all information that we have entered in Evo or InsuredMine as far as contact information for the contacts that you have are up to date. It is very easy, for example, if we have bounced emails, to use campaigns as a tool or resource to take those emails out of your system. So you can go to your bounced emails, for example. You can click on more options. Let's see. You can download that list. You can click on more options, or you can go into these people's accounts and remove those email addresses from the system. When someone unsubscribes, is there a way to get them subscribed again? So if they tell you that they want to resubscribe, you would have to contact our support team and have them resubscribed in the system. Unfortunately, there's not a way for the agent to resubscribe them to the email communications. So James, are we able to create marketing campaigns that would have multiple emails sent throughout the year based on insured sold date? So not the sold date, not the date that you bound the policy, but you can do it based on the effective date of the policy. So that would not be a campaign, that would actually be an automation, which we're going to go over next, because the effective date of the contact would be a trigger that we can use in the system. So let me go back up. I think I saw a question that I wanted to cover really quick. So let's go back to Lindsay's question really quick. I just want to review this because I don't know if my screen was large enough when I went over this, but in templates, if you click on add template for a text message template, the only option is the text editor here. So you would go over to text, and here you can create your text message template. So we've gone over the lists, the templates that we have here, email campaigns. Bulk text are going to work very similar to the email campaign. So you do have to have a list of who you want to send it to in the template for text messages of what you want to send out. Then you can create a text campaign. So I can't show you it in this portal because we don't have the phone number connected, but you'll have the different stages. You'll get to select your templates, the list of who you want to send it to, title your bulk text campaign, and send it out. Lillian, are we going to give you new templates every month? We, as InsuredMine is not. I'm not sure, Montserrat, if you know if TWFG is going to continue to create templates every month, or if
Yes.
those templates are already completed.
Yep. So every month, Lindsay or marketing team inside of TWFG is going to create templates. So here in the template view, you are going to be able to see the new templates that you will have. Those will be appearing your left side and in the folder or with the folder name. But also, if you are looking for some other templates, you have the templates that InsuredMine shared with you when you started. And if you want to add another template, you can choose here the templates that we have, the newsletter and all of those things, but please use all TWFG brand. If you do not use TWFG brand, we will stop the communications. Victoria, can you show them how to save a module in the template,
In drag and drop? Yes. And so whenever you're building your template, so this is the drag and drop builder. You can either click on it, build a template to get here, or on the other screen where it says add template, you can click on drag and drop builder. This is where you're going to find where Montserrat just showed you that list of templates that InsuredMine has. It's going to be on the top left corner where it says choose template. If you see a section that you really like in any of these, for example, if I really like this little quote box that's here for Memorial Day, I can save that area to this template as a module. To save this area as a module, I can edit the text that it says there. I can change the background color. If I don't want it red, I can change it here. If I want to save it, I would click on the whole area, these three dots to the far right by the scroll bar, and click Save as Module. In the Save as Module, I can give the module a name. So I can say quote box, and I can save it. So saving it, let's say I was back in engagement, I go back to templates. I'm creating a new drag and drop builder. I can look into the modules that I've saved previously, and I would be able to find that quote box. So let me load more. Let me see where it is. Oh, it's at the top. So I would click it, and I can drag it onto my new template. So this area, let's say I don't like that gray, so this one's transparent. If I don't like the red all the way over there, I can make it transparent on the edge. And if I don't want that red, I can change it to blue if I wanted to, and change the text. If I wanted to update this, I can click on the Save button again. It'll say, here's my module name that I've named previously, quote box, and I can either click Update, or I can save it as a new module. So let's go ahead and update it. Anytime I click on modules, it'll appear as the updated version. So now let's get into automation. So automation, we can use automation for any of these reasons here. So let's go ahead and click on it. Right now we have an upcoming birthday that I think I started previously. So in automations, you'll have these options. These are all based off of a trigger that the client has in the platform. So for example, when the client has a birthday, it'll trigger and it can send them a birthday email. When the client becomes active in the system, you can send a welcome client. So welcome to your agency, for example. You can set a specific date and time before the renewal date comes up, so the effective date of their current policies, and you can send them policy renewal automation. If they have a new policy, this is used for existing clients that has a new policy. So they're already active in the system, but they have a new policy. So you can send them automations based on that. Midterm policy review will review, of course, the middle mark on your client's policy, or you can set the exact amount of days from the effective date to send them a policy review. X date's used for lost business. So if a client has an X date, you lost that business, they're marked as inactive, you can send them automations based on that. Cross-selling, so let's say they have a home policy, but they don't have auto, you can send them automations based on that trigger. They have a home policy, an active home policy, but not an auto policy. So let's send them over a cross-selling automation. They're turning 65. This will read off of the month, day, and year to send out to clients turning 65. Google reviews, you would select who you want to send that to as far as Google reviews. So this one you can customize. I'll show you this one here in a second. You can send referral requests to active clients after they've become an active client. So this is based on the effective date. Thank you client also based off of the effective date, and Google reviews also. If you want to see all the triggers that we can build an automation from, you can create a custom automation. The custom automations are based off of these right here. So these 6 options are all the triggers that we can send an automation based off of. So for Google reviews, I've seen a really great practice in the system that you may be interested in. But we do have ratings on the contacts. So let's pretend we're customizing the Google reviews one for now. And we want to send an email out. You can select the different types of automations that you want to send out. So if I want to send an email and a text message, I would select both of them to have the option to send text message as well. You don't have to use them both, but you click on them to have that option. And I want to send the Google reviews out to active clients. And then you can choose how many days after they become an active client you want to send them out that email. So if I want to change that, I can. So I want to send it after 10 days. I'll update it here. You can also add filters to those active clients. So what I've seen a lot of agencies do is they use the rating for this. You may have noticed that there are different star ratings that you can add onto contacts in the system. And if I only want to request a Google review to those with 5 stars or that I've marked with 5 or 4 stars, I can save that rating and only send out the Google reviews automation to them. So then I'll hit begin. Stage 1, I can add more stages. Here are the options that I have to choose from. So we selected email and text message. This says 4 days. So I'm going to do it after 10 days. And that'll update that little red area in the back there because the trigger is what you set before. And then the stage has to be after the trigger mark. So if the trigger is at 10 days, this has to be at least 10 days here. Then I'll select the template. So if I selected that template with Google reviews, let's go ahead and find that one. Let's wait for it to load. There. Google reviews. It'll pop up my Google reviews template here. So this first one will send 10 days after it becomes an active client. I've selected the template that I want to send. It has the subject line come in from the template. I can add an unsubscribe link. Again, I can send it to myself and I want to see what it would look like. I would select the email I want it to come from, and then I can select a signature since I would have that in my personal portal. You can add more stages if I wanted to. So if I wanted to add a text message, I can add a text message here. This one has to be after the first stage, of course. So if the first stage is 10 days, I'll make the second one 14 days, and that'll get rid of that red mark right there. I would select the phone number that I want to send it for, and I can type out the text message if I didn't have a template. Please leave us a review. So after I've got the campaign, or not the campaign, but the workflow automation exactly how I want it built, I would hit next. And this will give you a review of what you've created as far as the workflow goes before you hit start. So this is a Google review workflow. It sends by email and text message. It'll show you the different stages with their templates here. And then you can select which agents you want to turn this on and off for. And there is filters. And so it'll send to active clients, triggers 10 days after a new client date, with a rating of 4 or 5. And then if I wanted to receive email notifications when these are sent out or 3 days before the first stage, you can also set it to receive that email notification. And then you would hit start whenever you want to, or you can save it as a draft. So in automations, any drafts you'll be able to see here. You can also pause automations or view your running automations. So here I have a happy birthday automations. I can click on view tracking to also be able to view who's opened it, how many were clicked, how many were bounced, etc. for the last 30 days, or I can do it for all time if I wanted to as well. And here you can see on May 24th, there was 1 recipient and I can see who received it. Or on May 13th, for example, there were 4 recipients and you can see exactly who received it. If she clicked on it, it'll show here clicked, and there's the time that she clicked on it, or he clicked on it. Then if I wanted to, I can click on the 3 dots. I can pause my automation if I don't want to send it out at this moment. I can delete it, I can edit it, or I can view the logs again. Well, these trackings would be for the day.
Yes, Agram, it's possible to see the automations outside of a campaign. So if you are talking about the workflow, if Victoria, can you click in Send Analytics?
Yes. So here you can see the scheduled analytics and the sent analytics. So if you want to see the ones that have sent previously, you can click on Sent Analytics to view all of them, maybe for the last 30 days. And it'll show you exactly which ones went out. Or we can do scheduled analytics and see which ones are going out in the up to the next 30 days.
Yes, and also for pipeline automations, you will be able to see the analytics.
Yes. So you can view those. Again, these are going to be for workflow automations. If you wanted to go to pipeline, click on your big 3 dots and go to automation and pipeline. You'll also notice you have those 2 options here in the pipeline automation. So you can see scheduled analytics for pipeline as well. So the 5% bounce number for email campaign, that only is for bounced emails. It doesn't include unsubscribed. The reason why that we have that is so that you're not marked as spam, because if you are sending out to a high list of bounced emails, your domain may be marked as spam. So we do pause it or stop the campaign for your protection, so you don't have to worry about not being able to send from your email. So again, for automation, since TWFG was able to provide those templates for you for renewals, we do also have the renewal option, or you can create the renewal workflow here in engagement automations. You can customize the policy renewal to send by email, text message. If you even want to create a pipeline card, if you have a renewal pipeline, you can select that option, or any of these here. So I would send those to active clients. I can choose policy categories to include if I only want to send it to specific policy categories, or I can only send it to specific carriers, for example, and I can choose when my automations will begin. So this would be 60 days before the renewal starts. So 60 days before the expiration date of their policy. I would build it just like we did the Google campaigns. So I can hit begin. These are my options of what I can create. So if I wanted to send an email first, I would select email, then I can choose that template that TWFG had provided to you. It should be in all of your accounts. So let's go ahead and do renewal and see what comes up. So it's 45 days here. So let's go ahead and click 45 days. I can send this 45 days still because it's still going to be after the trigger in the account, which is the 60 days. So this one sends 45 days before the policy expiration date. Here I have my TWFG template. Add unsubscribe link, select the email that I want to send it from and what time I want to send it out. And then I can select a new stage. If I select another stage, I can also click renewal. And I can click 30 days. I can change this to before 30 days from their expiration date, and I can build out my campaign like this. Add unsubscribe link. Let's say I have this all built out, so I have an email going out at 45 days, 30 days, 15 days, etc. If I wanted to, I can also add text messages in the mix. You would have to create those templates if you do use text messages as well for some of your clients. And then you could also create to add a task for the agent. I can label the priority. So this one's maybe 10 days before renewal. Task name, upcoming renewal in 10 days. Due date. The due date is going to be how many days after the task was added you wanted it to be due. So if I wanted the task to be due after 2 days, I can do 2 days here. So that way I can make sure to review it in the platform. I can choose a specific assignee, or I can do it to the assigned agent. A specific assignee, it may be used if you have a CSR that handles renewals only. And then I can select the task type. So this one can just be task. Please review and call insured. They have an upcoming renewal, for example. After this, if I wanted them to show up on a specific pipeline, also you can have that done directly from here. You would search for your pipeline. So if I had personal lines renewal, I can have them on my personal lines renewal pipeline under a private or shared deal board. And I can have that populate maybe, let's say, 10 days before renewal as well. I can put them in a specific stage, or let's put them in 15 days. Sorry, let me go back here. This one may be frozen. Will it open up another one? Let me refresh this really quick. This may take me back out. It's okay. But for example, if I wanted to create a pipeline card, let's go back to that. So if I wanted to create a pipeline card, I can do a pipeline card before any automations are sent out. And I can select a specific pipeline that I want this renewal to show up in. So I can do personal lines renewals, for example. If I want them to show up at 30 days, I can add them to the 30-day mark. Or if I wanted them to show up at the upcoming 45 days, I can add them to the 45-day mark, and they can go directly into your pipeline. You can also select the assignee for the renewals. This will work again if you have a CSR that's assigned to that pipeline. They can be added there, or you can assign yourself or the agent that their contact or account is listed under. For renewals, once you have all your stages built out with the templates that TWFG has provided, like the 45-day mark, 30-day mark, 15-day mark, you can then begin your automations, or you can save it as a draft too, if you still want to work on it a little bit. All right, so that's all I have for you today. Does anybody have any more questions?
Thank you, Victoria. So we finished the training for today. And once we upload this video in YouTube, we will share with you. So you will receive an email from Sharnay and Kunal send you this recording. Yes, Akram, you can send a drip campaign based on a lost deal card. Let me show you quickly how to do it. So let's say that you create your single contact drip. So you already have your single contact drip, and then you came here in your pipeline, go to your lost deals that you have. I guess it's not going to show any lost deal. Well, yes, it's Kiara. Or test that we have been doing. So what you're going to do is click in the box that you have close to the name of your stage, and it's going to show these options. So what you have to do is click assign drip, and it's going to show you the assign drip. You just click here and assign the drip, and the communication is going to trigger.
Another option that you can have for that would be, let's say we're in our pipeline. If you click on automations, one of the triggers is lost. So on deal lost, you can set a reminder for yourself to assign that drip if you want. So that way you don't have to do it to everybody in a stage at one point or as a whole. You can add a task to remind yourself, assign lost drip if needed. So that way, whenever you see that task, And so that way, if you see that task assigned to you, you can go into the contact directly and you can assign the drip from there.
Yes. Okay, guys, so we finished the training. We will share this. And do not forget that Sharnay and Kunal will reach you. And also please spread this with the other agencies. We always wanted that you use InsuredMine, but not only use InsuredMine, like you really see the value of the platform and that you start bringing your renewals, close on time, and new business. We will talk with Lindsay in order to schedule another training for new business and renewals. Yes, Elsa, we will do it more slow. We will try. Sorry to do it so fast. Okay, guys. So have a good day and see you in the chat, in emails or calls. Have a good day.